U.S. Secretary Anthony Blinken arrives. Nigeria meets with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa. 18 of 26 lawmakers in the Ogun State House of Assembly impeach Speaker Kunle Olomo. Nigeria's anti-corruption watchdog, the EFCC, is set to arraign former governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, on Wednesday over an alleged 4 billion naira fraud. Let's check out headlines coming from outside Nigeria. Tensions between Burundi and Rwanda, neighbors in East Africa, have worsened as Rwandan authorities accuse Burundian leader of allegations aimed at sowing division amongst Rwandans. Joseph Boakai, Liberia president, the man on your screen, has been declared perfectly fine by his doctors. As the spokesperson says that he had heat exhaustion during his inauguration. Tonight on Politics HQ, more reactions to a federal high court ruling or judgment nullifying the budget. That's right, the budget of the Rivers State government. How will Governor Sim Fubara pay salaries? How will Governor Sim Fubara fund the spending of the government of Rivers State? To get answers to this, please stay with us for discussion. Also tonight, 16 People's Democratic Party lawmakers are recovering from the effects of tear gas, which they suffered today. That's what they received when they tried to gain access to the Plateau State House of Assembly. We have a discussion on this ahead. I'm Kofi Bartels. Politics HQ starts now. Welcome. A federal high court in Abuja yesterday, as we heard, delivered judgment in the suit by the Speaker of a faction, if you can still call it that, of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Martin Amaewhule, against the State Governor, Sim Fubara, the National Assembly, and others. Now, the Rivers State House of Assembly, as well as and Amaewhule, being the two plaintiffs, sought an order of injunction, restraining the first to 10th defendants, we'll get to learn who they are, from entertaining any request from Fubara to take over the performance of the functions of the River State House of Assembly, now including its role to make laws for the peace, order, and good government or governance of River State in respect to matters that are within its constitutional and legislative competence. Now, who are these 10 defendants that are being restrained? The National Assembly, the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the Senate Majority Leader, the Senate Minority Leader are the first to fifth defendants, respectively. The House of Representatives Speaker, the House Deputy Speaker, the House Majority Leader, the House Minority Leader, and the Clerk to the National Assembly are the 6th to the 10th defendants as well. Now, the legal action of Amaewhule and the River State House of Assembly, at least his faction, also lists Governor Sim Fubara, Governor of River State, the Attorney General of River State, the Commissioner of Finance for River State, the Accountant General of River State, the River State Civil Service Commission, the Inspector General of Police, and Edison Ehe, who was previously listed on this suit as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. He asked to be joined in it as the defendants, numbered 11 to 17. Now, the plaintiffs sought injunctions. Let's try to understand the case. A lot of confusion out there. Restraining Governor Fubara, along with defendant number 12, 13, and 14, from withholding any money that is due to the River State House of Assembly from the State Consolidated Revenue Fund, including salaries and emoluments owed to the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and other members of the House of Assembly, as well as the Clerk and Deputy Clerk and other staff of the Assembly. Now, also, it sought that the aforementioned defendants to prevent them from denying the Assembly the necessary funds to operate, including payment of salaries, allowances, emoluments, and also meeting their financial obligations. Now, these are the reliefs, among other reliefs. I think 11 additional reliefs sought by Right Honorable Martin Amaewhule. But what orders did the court give yesterday? We have ruling, we have orders, and we have judgment. Now, Justice James Omotosho delivered a judgment, and he said that the governor, through his counsel, had withdrawn all processes in the matter. That's what happened in court yesterday. They withdrew, his lawyers withdrew all processes. They stepped out. I'm sure it's because of the agreement that was brokered by President Bola Tinubu. Now, Milord the Honorable Justice Omotosho also said that Edison Ehe, who had earlier applied to be joined as a party in the suit, he wasn't joined then, having resigned from the Rivers State House of Assembly, could not sue or be sued in the case. As a matter of fact, Edison also withdrew from this case, citing, an agreement to sort things out. Now, the Federal High Court, therefore, this Justice Omotosho, barred Governor Siminalayi Fubara from interfering with the Rivers State House of Assembly led by Martins Amaewhule. The court also prevented the National Assembly from considering any request. If we go by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they can do that, from the governor to take over the activities of the Rivers Assembly. The National Assembly can do that. It's in the Constitution. Furthermore, the court ordered that Governor Fubara release all funds due to the State Assembly. He emphasized that a failure to do so would violate the principle of separation of powers enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Milord the Honorable Justice Omotosho also went ahead to nullify the reassignment of the Rivers State Assembly Clerk and Deputy Clerk by the State Head of Service. He said that the appointment of the Clerk and Deputy Clerk is a responsibility of the Speaker, as stipulated in the Rivers State Assembly Service Commission law, not the State Civil Service law. So the judge also mandated the IG of police, the Nigerian Police Force as a whole, to continue to, in his words, provide security for all Rivers citizens, including members of the State Assembly, as they discharge their duties. We want to understand what is up in this case. The judge, Omotosho, further declared that the purported presentation, this is key, I think this is a thesis order, and subsequent passage of the Rivers State 2024 appropriation bill, by what he called, these are the words of the judge, by few members of the State Assembly, is null and void. We have other cases ongoing as far as the Rivers State House of Assembly crisis is concerned. Let's look at them. 3 other cases. Number 1, a Federal High Court sitting in Abuja yesterday, the same yesterday, ordered all the parties in the Rivers State House of Assembly matter to maintain the status quo. The court, in a ruling that was delivered by Justice J.O. Abdul Malik, directed the parties not to take further steps pending the determination of an application that is seeking to stop Governor Siminalayi Fubara from re-presenting the already passed 2024 budget of the Rivers State House of Assembly before the Legislative House. Justice Abdul Malik also went ahead to fix February 28 to hear the application, which was brought before the court by 6 elders of the state. One of them is meant to join us today. But the plaintiffs in the matter, led by a member of the House of Assembly who has refused to pick my call since yesterday, he was representing Bonny State constituency, Honorable Victor Kojombo. They are Senator Bennett Birabi, Senator Andrew Chendu, Rear Admiral O.P. Fingesi, and Ann Keel Briggs, as well as Emmanuel Dema. These are elders of Rivers State, and they, through their lawyers led by Mr. Lukaide Ajulesi, and had approached the court praying it to grant them certain prayers, and that is to declare the seats of the 27 lawmakers in the State Assembly that defected from the PDP to the APC vacant. That's the first case, apart from the one barring the governor from nullifying the budget. That's one case, so that makes 2. Now, the second case, the Federal High Court in Abuja last month, December, barred INEC, that's Nigeria's Electoral Commission. It barred them from organizing by-elections, because if you say that the members of the Assembly have vacated their seats by virtue of their decamping, INEC will have to organize by-elections. So that court barred INEC from organizing those by-elections to replace these 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly whose seats were declared vacant by Justice Donatus Okoro, or declared vacant rather, and Justice Okoro gave that order. So let's move on, because that case was instituted by the Martin Amaewhule faction of the Rivers State House of Assembly in order to prevent any circumstance or situation where they will be replaced and INEC would have to organize an election to replace them. Now, the final one, the final court case, this now brings it all to 4. Last month, December, Rivers State High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, presided over by Justice M.W. Danagogo, granted an order of interim injunction restraining the defendants, including Right Honorable Amaewhule, who is known as a factional speaker, and his deputy, from preventing, disrupting, and interfering from the exercise of the claimant's, second claimant's statutory legislative duties of summoning and holding meetings, proceedings, and issuing notices, passing resolutions, bills, and performing other legislative functions of the first claimant. Now, it simply means that this court, this River State High Court, recognized the Edison Ehe-led River State House of Assembly. So just to paint a picture of what's going on in River State, there's a mouthful there. So we've had at least 4 concurrent cases in that assembly as we speak, at least 4. Joining us tonight to discuss this and also look at the issues, matters arising, Chibike Ikenga, as a member of the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in River State. He joins us live via video link from Port Harcourt. Chibike, good evening to you. Thank you very kindly for your time.
Good evening, Kofi, and welcome, listeners.
All right. We're meant to have Ponabon Kotari and, of course, Ankyo Briggs, but unfortunately, Ponabon Kotari cannot join us. I hope that we can have Ankyo Briggs, who is one of those who took the River State governor to court. And, of course, we had that ruling yesterday. What's your reaction to the 2 court cases? Let's start with the one that is stopping the River State governor from, implementing the state's 2024 Appropriation Act.
Well, I think that this plethora of court cases would not have arisen, or a whole lot of them would have just been settled had the governor and his team with PDP taken reconciliation and stability of the state seriously. What I mean by that is that the trouble had started, and the governor himself did also complain to the president on the need for peace. And then the president took necessary action by inviting the governor and some the members of the House of Assembly, as well as some leaders of the state. So having met with the president, they all agreed, including the governor, his party, the APC, the State House of Assembly members, particularly as led by Amaewhule, and even the 4 assembly members who were opposed to him, led by Edison Ehe, Right Honorable. So in that presidential proclamation for peace, which the president consulted with all the leaders of the state who were there, including the governor, they all agreed and signed that truce. And it was expected that all the groupings will keep to their own side of the bargain to guarantee a lasting peace. And as a party, APC that we are, after that meeting with the president, we met at the sidelines and agreed that we were going to take all necessary steps towards ensuring that peace returned to the state. And immediately upon return to the State House Assembly, as led by Right Honorable Amaewhule, did withdraw the impeachment notice which they served the governor, which of course was expected to herald peace by the governor living up to his own ensuring that his own part of the bargain was met. But unfortunately, what we have seen since that day is groups and then youth organizations, civil society groups, sponsored by the government to further heat up the polity and create further divisions and instability in the state. That is what we have seen. It's unfortunate. A lot of anti-democratic actions by the government and the party PDP in the state have festered. For instance, the governor went ahead to submit a budget to 4 persons and 27 persons were excluded. How do you justify that? You can't justify that where the majority of the people, majority of the representatives of people were kept outside, only for people who represent only 4 constituencies. Unfortunately, that is what is going on in the state, and I place everything before the governor, because as the helmsman of the state, the governor ought to take necessary measures that will guarantee peace and bring everybody together, be more in his administration. But unfortunately, like I did say, the governor has completely abandoned the governance to politicking. Right. So if wants to politic, let him go ahead and then start local government elections so that we can.
All right. So Chibike, you're saying the governor has abandoned governance and is embarking on politics. I'll take you up on that when we come back. We have to go for an advertorial. We'll come back for a commercial break. We'll come back in. Welcome back. Still looking at the matters arising in Rivers State, where we have about 4 concurrent cases regarding the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly. What happens there? We have still with us as our guest tonight in the first discussion on Politics HQ, the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Chibike Ikenga. He joins us live via video link from Port Harcourt. Chibike, I don't know, I'm tempted to call you factional spokesperson because your party men who were sacked by or removed by Ganduje, chairman of your party, are in court, claiming that they were removed unlawfully. So I hope you're not uncomfortable if I call you factional spokesperson.
No, there's no, Kofi, there's no basis for calling me a factional spokesperson because the chairman of APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, did not appoint us. The National Executive Committee of the party did, through the National Working Committee, which the National Party chairman heads, and it is constitutional and legal. And up until anything is done, like you said, people are in court, until we are nullified. That is when they talk about factional spokesperson or factional APC. But in Rivers State today, we just have only one APC as recognized by the national leadership of the party.
Okay, let's look at the second court case. You were talking about the fact that the governor is embarking on politics instead of a governance. But I mean, the first case, how is Governor Fubara going to govern if Martins Amaewhule and those who are on his side of the House Assembly will not step this case apart from the court? If we look at the agreement that Mr. President brokered between Nyesom Wike and Sim Fubara, they all agreed that they're going to withdraw all processes from court. Indeed, out of the 4 cases that have been running concurrently, I think Edison Ehe has withdrawn his own from court, the one that sought to make him, recognized him as the Speaker of the House of Assembly. That's number 1. He also resigned from his membership, or resigned his membership of the Rivers State House of Assembly too. Edison Ehe, in yesterday's case, the one presided over by Justice Milord Justice Omotosho, also stepped down, citing an agreement that has been reached. The lawyer to the governor of Rivers State also said his client says he should withdraw all his processes, paving the way for Milord Justice Omotosho to give this ruling, which seems to be in favor of Martin Amaewhule. Now, what is your view on the fact that Martin Amaewhule, writer of Martin Amaewhule, and his people, who are now members of your party, are yet to withdraw this case from court to fulfill their obligations from the Tinubu agreement?
Okay, I think that after the agreement, any step taken to undermine that presidential proclamation for peace should be what is the issue here. But any action taken, whether you go to court, to ensure that all that we agreed will be implemented, is not out of place. So what our House of Assembly members who are members of our party did was to ensure that they were not taken unawares, because they went ahead to withdraw the impeachment notice, and then they were also trying to do everything humanly possible to ensure that every part of that agreement was implemented. And if you check the decision of Justice James Omotosho yesterday, all of them were in tandem with the presidential proclamation for peace. And so nothing happened there. Nothing went wrong. In the peace parley, it was agreed that the governor should represent the budget to the majority of the assembly members, who are 27. So Justice Omotosho also said so. The part of the agreement also said that that the governor should not in any way impede the working relationship within the assembly. And that is also what Justice Omotosho did say. So if you check the overall of this judgment, it is in tandem with the presidential proclamation for peace and didn't go contrary. So that particular judgment is in sync with all that we agreed with the president for peace to return in Rivers State.
But one thing is missing, Chibike Kenga, one thing is missing, which is that Martins Amaewhule, Right Honorable Martins Amaewhule, has not withdrawn his cases from court. There are two. The one that's stopping INEC from conducting a by-election, and then this one. Whilst you have one at the Federal High Court in Abuja and one at the Rivers State High Court that are seeming to support Sim Fubara and, of course, the AA House. So whilst you're saying, and you're right, that all that my Lord Honorable Justice James Omotosho has said or has ordered seems to also be going in line with the agreement. One thing is missing, that Right Honorable Martins Amaewhule and 27 others, because they are part of the House, are still in court against 17 others, or now 16 others, since he has recused himself.
No, Kofi, what you must note is this. Some of these court cases do not have any direct bearing with the challenges with the governor. Some of them are taken to forestall because you are hearing the governor's supporters and PDP members who are saying that their seats be declared vacant. Let INEC conduct elections to replace them. And these court cases are taken to forestall any ambush. And like I said, all the court cases that are there, that are instituted by the APC members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, are there to ensure that all that we agreed at that presidential peace parley are taken seriously. Because if you check all the other groupings who go to court, they are government-sponsored groups, whether they call themselves elders or they call themselves civil societies or they call themselves interested party members or interested members of the state or citizens of the state. They are government-sponsored. They are sponsored by the PDP and the government.
You're talking about all those Rivers people who have been protesting. Well, this morning you and I were at a forum with the chairman of the River State Civil Societies organizations who said that they were not paid by the governor. They are funded by Rivers people. But I want to come back to this case. Now, what are your thoughts on the fact that concurrently, on the same day, in the same city, Abuja, the same Federal High Court, this one is the court of my Lord Honorable Justice J.O. Abdul Malik, the Rivers elders in the persons of Senator Bennett Birabi, whom you know so well, from Yege in Ogoni land, Senator Andrew Chendu, Rear Admiral O.P. Fingesi, Ankyo Briggs, and Emmanuel Dema, in addition to a member of the House of Assembly in the Ehe faction, Victor Oko Jumbo, secured a court order directing the parties involved in this matter of the State House Assembly and the governor not to take any further steps until the issue before the court is determined. And of course, ordering that all parties should maintain the status quo. This is, of course, over a matter barring the governor from presenting the budget again to the State House of Assembly. Now, you're in Rivers State. You're a Rivers man. If government functions, it probably is for your good. You may have friends, brothers or sisters or family members or even party people who are employed in Rivers State. How will they be paid their salaries? If this court is saying that the governor's budget is nullified, and the same Federal High Court is saying that the governor cannot represent the budget before the House of Assembly, what shall Sim Fubara do to pay salaries and then to run the government of Rivers State?
Well, the conflicting judgments and orders are very embarrassing to all of us, but that is what we have seen in recent times. But be that as it may, all those who went to court for one reason or the other are interested parties. They are not doing so because they wish Rivers State well. They have one axe to grind with one gladiator or the other on the other side of the divide. particularly the elders like Ben Birabi and a few others, like Senator Andrew Chendi, you did mention shortly, they have their own problems with the immediate past governor, Chief Nyesom Wike. So to settle their scores, this is how they want to get into it. But mind you, this problem is between the executive as led by the governor and that of the assembly. So Chief Nyesom Wike is not particularly directly involved in this matter as we speak. Yesterday, they could have disagreed, but after the presidential proclamation for peace, I think that the matter now rests squarely on the table of the governor and that of the House.
Yeah, so I'm asking you, what I'm asking is you are of the APC, so I don't know why you are mentioning Nyesom. Since he's not in your party, you know, except probably you support him. He has not come to the APC, so I don't know why you're talking about him.
No, what I said is that all the elders who were just mentioned have one problem or the other to settle with the immediate past governor because they believe that these young men in the assembly and women in the assembly were mentored by him and put in the assembly by him.
Okay, so Ikenga, sorry, please, I'm so sorry. A quick one. So how Fubara proceed, you know, to pay salaries and to run general government business in River State, to pay the contractors who are going to keep Port Harcourt clean? How will he proceed if he can't implement the budget?
The simplest way to do that, the governor can go ahead and call a meeting, call for a truce. The buck stops on his table between himself and the members of the assembly. They can have a political solution. The constitution did not say that people cannot settle out of court. People can settle out of court.
Yeah, but there's an agreement that they should take all these things and settle it out of court. And now you have Ankyo Briggs, Andrew Chende and Co. securing an injunction, saying they should maintain the status quo.
They are supporting the governor. That is the truth. They are on the side of the governor.
Well, but they're individuals. I remember Ankyo Briggs said she's trying to reach the governor. He's not picking her call. So they seem to be working on their own.
That's not correct. They are on the side of the governor.
No, but she said on this one that she's tried to call him. But for now, they are on their own. So the solution, since you're saying the solution is an out-of-court settlement and a gentleman's agreement, but that agreement has been reached. If Amaewhule withdraws his case from court, seeing that A has withdrawn and recused himself, seeing that the lawyer to Governor Fubara has said we are withdrawing from this case, if Martins now says we are also withdrawing from this case in court, no matter the injunction that these Rivers elders have, at least Fubara can pay salaries. Because Rivers people will go to bed hungry because of this Martins Amaewhule's case.
No, let me say something. I don't know the case you're referring to. Is it the one that the judgment had come, or which one?
The one that is nullifying the budget and also ordering the accountant general and all that. It means he can't spend.
No. Governor, if you remember, the House of Assembly, the Speaker and members of the House of Assembly did ask the governor to present the budget, and that in doing so, he had to first represent the MTEF, Medium Term Expenditure Framework, which the governor had not sent to them.
Okay.
So all
but the other judgment from Abdul Kadiri's court is say maintain the status quo, which means that he can't do anything. We have to go, Kinga. We have to go out of time. But I want to thank you so very kindly for joining us tonight on Politics HQ. Let's take a break, a commercial break, and when we come back, we have more conversations. Please stay with us. Welcome back to our second conversation tonight. Armed policemen on Tuesday tear-gassed 16 lawmakers of the Plateau State House of Assembly from the People's Democratic Party who, if you recall, were sacked by the Court of Appeal only recently. These lawmakers had threatened to enter the State House of Assembly, and they arrived at the Rayfield Old Government House in Jos on Tuesday morning alongside their supporters, preparatory to their resumption of plenary, and to carry out what they said they will. I won't like to call it a threat, which is what they said yesterday, that they were going to get into the assembly chamber, and that's when the incident happened. The policemen there and other security operatives, took over the premises of the government house in Jos Plateau State and prevented the sacked lawmakers from going into the chamber of the House of Assembly, which is situated right for now at the government house. But the lawmakers, they vowed that they won't leave the premises, But the 8 other lawmakers who were recognized by the Court of Appeal, 7 members from the All Progressives Congress and 1 member from YPP, they were not affected by the Court of Appeal judgment, were allowed into the legislative chambers of the Speaker of the by the Speaker and the security men. Speaker of the House, Gabriel Dewan, today said that he is in possession of a court injunction which mandates him to recognize only 8 lawmakers. And like we said, recall that the Court of Appeal had sacked the 16 PDP lawmakers in a unanimous decision. The panel, led by Justice Okonabang, held that all the sacked lawmakers has scored what he called wasted votes at the time of the March 2023 general election because their party lacked structure. He also added that the PDP violated Section 177 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and therefore could not sponsor candidates in an election. Same issue that was taken to court for the governorship election, which Caleb Mutfwang later won at the Supreme Court. I'm joined tonight by John Bull Shekarau, who is a former Deputy Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly. Mr. Shekarau, thank you so very kindly for joining us tonight. All right, we've lost the connection with John Bull Shekarau. We hope to get him back as quickly as we can. But it's been a dramatic day for politics, especially politics in Nigeria as far as the state houses of assembly are concerned. We have the case in River State with the speakership of the River State House of Assembly, which is all about basically the impeachment of the governor of River State. We have this case in Plateau State where 16 seats where the election of members to 16 seats in the State House of Assembly were overturned by the Court of Appeal. And also we have another case where the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly has been impeached by 18 out of 26 lawmakers. So it's been a whirlwind couple of days for houses of assembly in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I hope that we can have Mr. John Bull Shekarau back to give us his thoughts and analysis of today's incident. But what the Nigerian Constitution says is that for those who are in legislative elections, your election litigation ends at the Court of Appeal. While for the presidential election and governorship election or election into executive positions, being president or the governor, it ends at the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Do we have Mr. John Bull Shekarau back?
Yes, I'm back there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very kindly for your time. What's your view of today's dramatic incident at the Plateau State House of Assembly, where these 16 PDP lawmakers carried out their what they promised? They promised they would go to work at the Assembly chamber, and they tried to do that, and the police as well as other security agents repelled them or blocked them, and tear gas was fired at them. What's your view of today's incident?
Well, today was a very eventful day on the Plateau, especially in the House of Assembly. The 16 PDP members carried out fully that track to enter into the House of Assembly to continue the sitting. But by and large, I think my view on this matter is clear. The Supreme Court had ruled in the case of the governor that there was miscarriage of justice in their case.
All right, it seems we've lost connection again with John Bull Shekarau. We apologize for that. Happens from time to time with the state of internet connection or connectivity, which you cannot predict. While we wait for Mr. John Bull to join us back, as we were earlier saying, the Court of Appeal is where the litigation for elections into the legislature in Nigeria stops. That's where it ends. And like they say, after the Supreme Court is gone for the executive positions, after the Court of Appeal is gone. So if you lose, the next place you have to go to appeal is to go to God in prayer. And of course, these 16 lawmakers were sacked from their seats for the same reasons that the governor of Plateau State, Calabotran, was also removed by the Court of Appeal. But the judgment of the Supreme Court on the Plateau State governorship election petition is clear. One of the learned lawyers or respected lawyers in Nigeria, Chief Michael Zekome, SAN, this is how he described it, that the Supreme Court used judicial koboko on the Court of Appeal. Now, in Nigerian parlance, koboko is a cane which you flog or whip, anyone who is being stubborn. And a lot of pundits, analysts, legal minds have commended the Supreme Court for sparing no words in castigating and reprimanding, really, the Court of Appeal in some of the judgments. And so the questions a lot of people are asking, or the question on a lot of minds is, if the Supreme Court overturned the decision of the Court of Appeal, not just overturning it, but in very strong words, condemning, reprimanding the Court of Appeal for what it did, then it means that these Plateau State lawmakers, the PDP lawmakers, 16 of them, were not treated fairly. Unfortunately, there's no judicial VAR to look at the case again. So it's over for them. And therefore, the argument is that the judgment was wrong. The judgment of the Court of Appeal was wrong. It was flawed. But that's the Court of Appeal. It's done. It's done. There's nothing they can do. Now, as things stand, if I'm not mistaken, do we have Mr. Jumbo back, please? All right, as things stand, the PDP members of the Plateau State House Assembly still have their certificates of return. Those certificates have not been taken away from them. Neither has INEC organized any elections so far to replace them. So maybe they are thinking, and this is a big maybe, is that they can continue to go to work until they're removed. I don't know. But we'll take a break, and when we come back, we hope we have Jumbo Shekaro back with us. Please stay. On-off.
Hello. Hi there.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. So play it. Yes, I can hear you. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back with you. I'm back to
Okay, so your network is really poor. You're cracking up. Can someone go in on Zoom and log in and try and sort this out?
November 22nd.
We agreed that you guys will log in
into
Zoom.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you fully. Can you see me?
Yes, sir. Your network is poor.
I don't know, but I think I'm in the right place. I chose the right place for the network.
Okay, it's poor. I don't know if there's Wi-Fi. Maybe any Wi-Fi connection where you are.
No, there's no Wi-Fi anywhere around here. What I have is the data.
Okay, just stay with us and let's see if we can. We're on a commercial break. Let's see if we can. Welcome back. We have Mr. Jumbo Shekara back with us, but before we go back to him, let's listen to the Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly.
November 22nd, the Plateau State House of Assembly went on recess with adjournment to resume the recess today being 23rd day of January 2024. And to God be the glory. As you can see, we have call of the recess at duly adjourned, and we are back to resume the legislative duty officially today being 23rd day of January, believing that God Almighty will take control to begin the new year with all seriousness, to give the government of President Tinubu, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, all the needed legislative support for the Plateau State to prosper. Thank you. We are lawmakers. But I'm in receipt of a court process that is in place. So for now, there's nothing as an assembly we can say, because as law-abiding lawmakers, we allow the institution saddled with responsibility of interpretation of the law to interpret the law. So at due cost, we'll feed the public with the next line of action. But for now, we have 8 House of Assembly members who are in place until the determination of the court process. As I'm talking to you, there are 32 members claiming 16 vacancies in the Assembly. And as I said, we as lawmakers, we are not law interpreters. So we allow the institution, that is the judiciary, to do the needful by interpreting the law. And at the right time, we know who are the rightful occupant of the 16 constituencies, and we'll do the rightful thing at the right time as an assembly.
Mr. Jumbo, if you're with us, just to find out from you your take on what the future holds for these 16 lawmakers. What can they do going forward?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the law is very clear. I'm not a lawyer, though, but I think it's very clear that based on the pronouncement of the Supreme Court, and if the Supreme Court is the final court of justice in this country, they have stated all. And these people were unjustly removed, and the judgment of the Court of Appeal.
All right, Jumbo, I'm so sorry we have to pull the plugs at this time. I think the connection has not been too kind with you, and we're sorry about that. But we'll keep eyes on this story. Of course, we have correspondent in Jos Plateau State, and we'll keep eyes on this story to see what the ramifications of this are, of this is legally. I mean, what can INEC do? You know, because it seems their hands are tied. What can the House of Assembly lawmakers do? So far, the Court of Appeal has spoken, and there's nowhere else for them to go. But every case presents an opportunity for the law to be tested, and for something that we've never have seen before in law to be done. So we'll keep eyes on that. But our prayer is that peace will be maintained in Plateau State, and that the executive, legislature, and judiciary of Plateau State, all the arms of government, will focus on the people of Plateau State, because they need all the focus that they can get with the tragedies that they've had to grapple with in recent weeks, months, and years. My name is Kofi Bartels. That's the size of our package. The First Lady says prayers are needed for Nigeria's security. So please keep praying till we come again your way tomorrow on this program. Good night.